Good evening. My name is Carolyn Schoenberger, and I'd like to welcome you to Immigrant Issues. And I'm here on behalf of the Chicago Legal Clinic. And I'm very excited because we have Michael Collins from Irish Community Services, who's going to talk to you about some very exciting new programs.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. And there's a lot to discuss because, of course, immigration is in the news all of the time. But before we get into immigration issues, I want to talk a little bit about the Chicago Legal Clinic. The Chicago Legal Clinic was founded in 1982 by two new lawyers who graduated from DePaul College of Law. And the reason why it was necessary to have something offered to people who needed legal services was because in the south of Chicago, there used to be a vibrant community, people going and working in the steel mills. But when the steel mills closed in the late 70s, people lost their jobs, they lost their homes, they couldn't go to businesses closed. And there were no legal services that were available to people who were not earning a lot of money. So the South Chicago Legal Clinic for Immigrants was founded in 1982. And then a few years later, the Pilsen community needed a low-cost legal clinic. So the name was changed from the South Chicago Legal Clinic for Immigrants to the Chicago Legal Clinic. Fast forward, now there are clinic offices not only in Pilsen, where I work, Austin, downtown. There are free advice desks in the Daly Center dealing with foreclosures, also child support. And there's also a free legal clinic offering advice and referrals to students at Harold Washington College, where I am also a professor, member of the faculty. If you have a legal problem, again, there is help for you. We can't guarantee how it's going to work out, but you can at least get legal advice at low cost. You can contact the Chicago Legal Clinic between the hours of 9 to 5. The number is 773-731-1762, 773-731-1762. And in addition to helping people with problems with immigration, we also assist people who won't need Social Security, disability, who have domestic violence issues, who need an adoption, powers of attorney, guardianships, wills, want to sell or buy real estate. So please call us. We have a lot of people who are bilingual on staff, and we want to assist people in any way that we possibly can. So now I'm going to talk in Spanish, so please forgive me. Buenas tardes, me llamo Carolina Schoenberger. Soy una abogada con la Clínica Legal de Chicago y quiero decirle un poco de la clínica. La Clínica Legal de Chicago fue establecida en 1982 por dos nuevos abogados que querían ayudar a la gente del sur de Chicago. Antes de 1980, había muchas acerías en el sur de Chicago, pero se cerraron a las acerías y la gente que trabajaba en las acerías perdieron su trabajo. También los negocios que estaban allá en el sur de Chicago sufrieron por la falta de clientes. En este barrio no había ninguna oficina legal ofreciendo ayuda legal a bajo costo. Entonces los dos abogados establecieron la Clínica Legal de Chicago en un solo cuarto. Actualmente hay 4 oficinas de la clínica en el sur de Chicago, Pilsen donde yo trabajo, Austin y el centro. También hay varias oficinas en las cortes que ayuda a gente que necesita aviso legal. Y también hay una clínica legal en Harold Washington College por estudiantes que ofrece aviso legal. Y soy profesora allá. So, por favor, si necesita aviso, necesita un abogado para hacer algo por usted. Si quería comprar una casa o vender, si tiene problemas con inmigración, violencia doméstica, si necesita ayuda con seguro social, si tiene problemas así, hay de llamarnos entre las horas de 9 hasta las 5 de la tarde, 773-731 1762 773-731 1762. También hay de tener cuidado ahora. No haga nada que va a tirar atención de inmigración. So, no maneja cuando estaba bebiendo. No hace nada que va a tirar atención, pero vive su vida. No vive en terror. Es muy importante y con cuidado. Hay mucha gente que aprovecha, gente que no sabe mucho de la ley. ¿Está seguro que consulta con alguien que tiene licencia como abogados o que tiene acreditación con inmigración? Ahora hablaremos en inglés, pero si tiene preguntas, llámanos, por favor. So I'm just mentioning to people that you have to live your life now, even in these dark times, but don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything to attract attention, like drinking and driving is sort of an example that we've talked about. And to be very careful who you consult with, either a licensed attorney or an accredited representative with the Immigration Service. So with that, welcome again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm always very impressed by your ability to speak multiple languages.
Well, I wish I spoke better. I, as someone once said, I speak with enthusiasm, so I guess I'm going to have to continue to try to improve so I speak better with enthusiasm. But thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about Irish Community Services?
Sure. So Irish Community Services, we are an immigration and social services provider. Traditionally, we have focused on the immigration needs of the Irish community. We then expanded to meet the senior social services needs of the Irish community, and more recently, we have started up a new youth program.
Okay, well, if you can just talk a little bit maybe about some of the different services that you provide, starting with immigration and then with seniors.
Sure. So for immigration, we partner with the Chicago Legal Clinic and the McEntee Law Group to provide free consultations to anybody who has an immigration issue. These are free 30-minute consultations. They happen once or twice a month, depending on demand, and they're usually held in our office at the Irish American Heritage Center.
Also, you have an office in Gaelic Park.
Well, we have a space that we use at Gaelic Park. So Gaelic Park and the Irish American Heritage Center, Gaelic Park is out of Oak Forest. They let us use their space from time to time. The Irish community is very spread out in Chicagoland, so we try to go to the neighborhoods in which they live. So we do occasionally operate out of Gaelic Park.
That's great. You also assist people with passports and.
We do. We have a large Irish services program, and in this for this program we assist people with the process of obtaining an Irish passport, but also Irish citizenship. So folks can come into our office, apply for Irish citizenship. They can also get their information from Caroline if they're interested in obtaining American citizenship.
I think that's wonderful, and certainly my husband's of Irish descent, but I don't know if he would be eligible, but I think we'd both love it if he were able to do that.
Yeah.
You have a great program for seniors. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our senior program was founded in 2010. Our organization was founded in 1998. And primarily we had offered pastoral and immigration services up until 2010, and then we expanded to meet the needs of the senior population within the Irish community. And through our senior program, we provide group sessions, so that's primarily socialization. We do educational programming. We get folks in sometimes to listen to music, tea, coffee, really just to get folks out of the house and socializing with their friends. Isolation can be a bit of an issue with seniors in general, not just in the Irish community, but that's what that program is primarily designed for. As part of that, as part of our senior services as well, we do case management. So if folks are ill or struggling to pay their bills, apply for benefits, etc., our social worker can pay people a visit and can help them out with those with the paperwork.
That's great. Where do you meet when you go? Do you meet in your office, or the Irish Heritage Center is fabulous? They have a pub and fabulous store.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's an interesting building. So our senior services and most of our services, our office is based out of the third floor of the Irish American Heritage Center. And our senior services, the group sessions would be based there. Every other Wednesday would be on the north side out of the Irish American Heritage Center. Every other Wednesday would be on the south side out of Chicago Gaelic Park. As I said, we do try to hit everybody in the city that we can, and we utilize those two centers as our bases.
That's great.
Yeah.
And now you have a new program involving youth. Can you let us know a little bit about that?
We do. So youth, again, this is probably the biggest sort of expansion of our services since we took on the senior program in 2010. Our youth program is going to consist of really two components. One is a play group, which is designed for caregivers and their toddlers to come in. We have a new part-time staff member who's going to run this. This will happen every Wednesday out of the Irish American Heritage Center. It gives the opportunity for parents, caregivers, etc., to kind of socialize and bond over the intricacies of raising a child, but also provides a great platform for the young folks to interact with one another prior to when they start preschool and kindergarten, etc.
What is the age group involved?
Sure. So for our play group, the age group, it's meant for toddlers, but we really let the parents kind of self-define the age. To date, we've had folks from the age of 1, or children from the age of 1 until the age of 4. We also have started a group for teenagers. Our teenager group is actually an expansion of an Irish-based organization called Froiga, which is the largest youth organization in Ireland, and we're the third city in the United States to start a Froiga club. Philadelphia and New York had started one prior to Chicago, and that one is designed for young people 12 to 18 years old. It's primarily youth-led. There's some facilitation, and it entails a lot of cultural programming and empowerment for young people to get involved in their community.
What does Froiga mean? I take it that's Irish for maybe friend or something?
Good guess. Actually, it is an Irish word, but it's a combination of two Irish words, and it's not really a word itself, so it's kind of hard to explain. It means it's kind of youth community in a broad translation, is what it translates to. Yeah.
And they do activities together and.
Yeah, so as I said, it's youth-led, and that's the design. It's meant to empower young people to get more involved in their communities. There's going to be an obvious Irish cultural component to it, but it's to get young people to expose them to different aspects of the community, the Irish community, but also the community in general. So service projects will be part of what they'll be doing. There'll be facilitated educational programming. There'll be facilitated cultural programming. But really, once the group is up and running, we do let the youth kind of lead the group, so they get to determine which way they want, what service projects they want to get involved in, what's their interest, and how they could best serve the community.
How do you find out about the programs? I noticed you have some brochures.
Yeah,
with you.
I brought some brochures on our new programs.
Maybe
Sure.
try to do an overhead with that.
This is actually, I'll show you the back. There's a little bit more information on that. So this is for our Froiga Youth Club. This is the
whoops.
Sure. So this is the club that's meant for 12 to 18-year-olds. As I said, this will be taking place on a weekly basis out of the Irish American Heritage Center. This one takes place on Thursdays from 6:30 until 8 p.m., where we've had an open night so far, and that was to make folks aware of what exactly Froiga is. I understand for those of you who don't speak Irish, especially considering Froiga is not necessarily an Irish word, it can be a bit confusing. So we had an open night to tell folks what it is, but we're actually launching the first Froiga group, which will entail pizza and game night is what we have planned for the first group, and that will take place on the 29th of November from 6:30 till 8 p.m. in the Irish American Heritage Center.
Do you sign up for this, or how do you?
Sure. So as it does have to deal with youth, you can, but your parents do need to sign a disclosure, and so that is really the only caveat. After that, there's not a requirement for your parents to be present, but they do need to sign a disclosure for you to
So
participate in the group.
if they went and either called the number that's on the screen or went to the website,
Yeah.
they can take care of that?
Exactly. All of the information is on our website. Ashlyn Colhane is, I believe her email is on there as well, or the info email is on there. But we would be able to answer all of your questions in regards to the disclosure that your parents would need to sign, but also walk you through a little bit of our upcoming schedule for Freuga.
Great, great. Do you have any other brochure you'd want me to?
Sure. We'll the play group, which is meant for caregivers and toddlers. Oh, if I could get it centered there. So that's what this brochure is about, and that one is, as I said, it's meant for toddlers to socialize with one another, and also for their caregivers to have a support network and things like that.
Yeah, no, I think, as a parent, it's nice to talk with other parents, and it's a good way for children to, as you said, start to socialize so that they have friends and everything.
Yeah, and that's part of what we're trying to do at Irish Community Services. A while back, actually, in March of this year, we've changed our name from Chicago Irish Immigrant Support to Irish Community Services, and that name change does represent the expansion to different aspects of the community that we had not otherwise served, with youth being one of them. So we're very happy to get the program up off the ground, and we look forward to running it this spring.
That's great. That's great. So again, since we basically are talking about immigrant issues, and that's a lot of the programs that you offer.
Yep.
What is your perspective of some of your clientele on some of the rumors that are going on about imminent ICE raids, et cetera?
Imminent ICE raids. We've not, within the Irish community, we've not had too many inquiries about ICE raids. We have had a few businesses reach out to us regarding I-9 audits and things like that, and obviously that's a big concern for businesses, Irish-owned businesses and other businesses that potentially their employees might not have legal status in this country, and a lot of the advice we give them is to speak with an attorney, make sure you have all the information that you need. And reach out for help if you're confused about a situation, or if you're concerned that your employees might be at risk, or if you feel that yourself you might be vulnerable for deportation or something along those lines. Please do give us a call, and we're happy to point you in the right direction.
I think that's such an important message right now, because there's so many rumors that are going on, particularly in the Hispanic community, that even events that are sponsored by the Archdiocese, people are afraid to go to. And so, again, with organizations out there reaching out, I think it's critically important to ask for help. And sometimes people, I don't know why, think lawyers are intimidating. I don't think we are. We can be, but I don't think we are. But to be able to reach out to a group and ask for help, if nothing else, counseling.
Yeah, and that's it too. I mean, that's why the Chicago Legal Clinic was formed, and Irish Community Services was formed, and that is to be a support network for the community when they do have questions and things like that. So if you're concerned about a situation, the best thing to do is to get all the information necessary. And the Chicago Legal Clinic and Irish Community Services are certainly here to support in that.
Very good. Although we don't have play groups, although sometimes in my office I think
you
like
might
we
have
do.
to call us for that one.
Yes, that although we have clients that bring kids in, and now we have toys and.
Oh, very good.
Stop people.
That's how it starts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so, but occasionally we have to stop someone from drawing on the walls. That happens.
Yeah.
That happens with little ones. Are there any other programs that perhaps that you would want to highlight in our remaining few minutes?
Sure. So it's not necessarily a program, but this has been spoke about a lot in the Irish press, and in some areas within the American press as well, is that there might be an increased visa allocation for Irish citizens. Caroline, you might be familiar with the E3 visa that Australia has. And so there is a proposal, a bill that is due to go before Congress before the end of the year, to attribute the remaining unused visas from Australia's allocation to the Irish, which would be a significant increase in the number of visas available to Irish citizens. The immigration for Irish citizens has slowed to a trickle for the past number of years. And so I know this is something that the Irish government has worked very hard on, and Representative Sensenbrenner of Wisconsin and Representative Richie Neal of Massachusetts are the two sponsors of this bill. So we will see. I believe it's still in committee, but they are planning for it to go before.
So it's a
before the House.
reallocation, that's correct?
Yeah, so Australia is given 10,500 E3 visas each year as part of their trade agreement that they negotiated with the United States back in 2004. And they only use around 5,000 of those visas every year. So the legislation that's written at the moment would attribute all of Australia's unused visas to Ireland, and make those available for Irish citizens. So.
And if you can just mention what the E3 visa.
Sure. So the E3 visa is it's another form of a work visa. So I'll go through briefly mention some of the requirements for it. You must have a legitimate job offer in the United States prior to applying for an E3 visa. That occupation, that job that you were offered, must qualify as a specialty occupation. And that's kind of broadly defined, but
Data processor.
yes, somebody with higher qualifications, specialty fields, engineering, STEM comes to mind. A lot of the STEM subjects would be in there, and you have to be an Irish citizen, and you have to have the necessary academic and qualifying credentials. So if you are an engineer, you would need an engineering degree, for example, and the E3 visa is a 2-year visa that's renewable. And what is the nice part about this visa is that you are allowed to bring your spouse on it as well. So it's an option if you have a family.
Does it lead to becoming a permanent resident, or does it not?
It can, but that would very much depend on the circumstances. Your personal circumstances.
Because like the H-1B visa, which is I think most
Yeah.
people come on H-1Bs, that can be renewed, I think, once, and then your business has to, be willing to have you become a lawful permanent resident, or you have to go home.
Yeah, so businesses can sponsor folks on an E3 visa for a green card. But as I said, it's very personal, very circumstantial, so I don't want to get too far into that at this stage.
But again, if anyone is interested in more information, let me just go and, this is the play group, but
Yep.
the number.
Yeah, our telephone number and our contact details are just here down at the bottom. So our email, if you'd like to get in contact with us about any of our programs, really the immigration, our senior program, or our youth club, or if you have any questions regarding the E3 visa that I spoke about, please do get in touch with us. Our email is info@irishchicago.org. Our telephone number is 773-282-8445, and you can visit us on our website at www.irishchicago.org.
And don't forget to visit the Irish Heritage Center,
Yep.
where they have a fabulous pub and just probably just a marvelous Irish shop and place that I'm hoping is closed whenever I go there.
Yeah,
'cause I don't
and
wanna
if you
be
come on
tempted.
Thursday and Friday evenings, they usually do have live music in the pub.
Yes.
So that's something to stop by and pay us a visit, and then you can pop downstairs and listen to some live music.
Well, I want to thank everyone for watching the show. We will be back on the 19th of December. In the meantime, if you have any legal questions, not only immigration, but dealing with real estate or foreclosures, if you're a victim of domestic violence, please contact us, 773-731-1762. And if you want to take advantage of the really fabulous programs, just very ingenious ideas, programs offered by Irish Community Services. We've given you the contact number. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
As always, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, and to everyone out there, I just want to wish everyone a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. We do have a lot to be grateful for, and this is a moment of reflection. So in any event, be safe out there, be careful out there, and eat well. Thank you so much.